Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. These guys are thinking that we are tards, that we are somewhere below 86 IQ. Some, 13-year-old kids, that's about less than 86 anyway. And they think that we just forget. And they can tell us something today and something tomorrow, and those things could be on the same issue and contradict themselves, but it doesn't matter because they know that in general our attention span, or their attention span, is about 3 minutes. So sometimes they repeat stuff every 3 minutes, so they keep these guys informed. But on the other hand, if they want these guys to forget something, they don't repeat it. After 3 minutes, let it go, they're gone, erased. But not for us, you and I. And I'm talking about the importance of Bakhmut. You know, Bakhmut, the place where now the Russians almost encircled the Ukrainian army over there, and it's the big fight. And when the Ukrainians were resisting, it was important. When the Ukrainians were losing, oh, you know what, Bakhmut has no significance, no strategic significance, forget about it. That was Milley Austin, that was Mark Milley, generals of the United States Army, right, military. Then it was Zelensky, then it was the Ukrainian officials. When they were losing, actually Bakhmut has no importance, no significance. And I will show you articles here where they claim that, or at least Austin, I have that one. And remember when Mark Milley told the Ukrainians, I think it was about 14th, it was on the 14th of February, when he said, well, I suggest the Ukrainians just leave Bakhmut, don't focus on it, because it has no significance actually, it's just a symbolic, that was the word, symbolic victory for the Russians, but has no strategic importance, and rather focus on counteroffensive in the south. This was Mark Milley. It was not New York Times, it was not CNN, it was Mark Milley. Why? Because the article that I have right here is going to claim, CNN said. No, it was Mark Milley, and then Austin, the other guy, the other great general, said, oh, you know what, it's just a symbolic victory. And now we have Zelensky, who tells us, actually, he's going to tell us something I've been saying for the very beginning, just looking on the Ukrainian map. When I saw, wait a minute, if this falls, Bakhmut, what's next? There's 2 cities, Donbass, and that's it. Now, Zelensky said, as a matter of fact, it's very important, Bakhmut. No shit. Now, let's see this little article here with this weasel. Look, right here. I'm calling this guy, whenever this mass media and his public relations group is around him and take picture of him and all this, edit and so on, I think they're all staged. This is like Zoolander. If you watch that movie Zoolander, a comedy with another Zelensky, Ben Stiller, funny movie. You're gonna see how he looks. He looks like Zoolander. He's all tough and cool and all that. When he's a clown in reality. All right, Ukrainska Pravda. Capture of Bakhmut will open path for Russia to other cities of Donetsk Oblast. Zelensky. Really? Okay, what changed? This is from March 7, 2023. The capture of the city of Bakhmut would open the way for Russia to reach other settlements in Donetsk Oblast, which is why Ukrainian troops continue to defend it. And I'm quoting, we understand that after Bakhmut, they go further. They go to Kramatorsk, they could go to Sloviansk. It would be open road for the Russians after Bakhmut to other towns in Ukraine, in the Donetsk direction. That's why our guys are standing there. All right, let's see. See? This is Ukraine, this is where the war is right here, with all these little bullets. This is what the Russians already occupied, or however you want to call it. And here is Bakhmut. The Russians call it Artemovsk, right here. So, here it is. If this falls, right, what's over here? Kramatorsk, Sloviansk. I've been talking about these things from the very beginning when I looked over the map. If this falls, that's next. Kramatorsk, Sloviansk, and then nothing until you get to what? What's over there? not even this. Izium, this is not, these are big cities. They're not that big cities. Maybe this one. You see? And that's it. This is the border where the Russians say that that's all they want. But, if the Ukrainians receive long-range missiles, then they would have to put them further, so they are not able to bombard them here in Russia, if this will be Russia at one point. All right, so let's see. There was a big disagreement, I would say, argument between Zaluzny and Zelensky about if they should leave Bakhmut or not. And they were, blame shifting over there and responsibility shifting between these two weasels. I don't know two weasel, only Zelensky is a weasel. Zaluzny is not a weasel. I don't consider him a weasel. He might be crooked, he might be a crook, but I gave him more this and more this and more this than I give. I mean, look who you have to compare to, Zelensky, Zoolander. Anyway, so we have here, there was a contradiction between these two guys who didn't know who should be blamed for the Ukrainians who would be surrounded, encircled in Bakhmut. Zaluzny, the military chief of staff, the chief of staff of the Ukrainian military, said, I told them to retreat, and you said, stay over there, this is our fortress, we'll never give up, which I covered that in my articles, and that's true. Zaluzny said, we should just retreat. Zelensky said, no, we stay over there. Now we find out, I've covered in an article today or yesterday, it's the other way around they reported. It's like Zaluzny said, no, hold it, and Zelensky said, let's get out, which is total So anyway, now they got a meeting, a Security Council meeting, and they all decided, they asked the military, they made it public, the weasels public. Usually they don't tell us what was discussed in those meetings, but now they did. And they said, well, Zelensky asked the two generals over there, what do you think what we should do? And they say, well, we should hold it. And so, okay, I agree with you. That means if something happens over there, he's out. You're in. I agreed with you, but it was your idea. You're the expert here. That's how it's going to be turned. So now they're fighting for Bakhmut, which already became very important. I don't know why exactly it became so important right now, all of a sudden. They realized that those two cities, Sloviansk and whatever the other one is, exist. Up till what, 2 hours ago, they didn't know those cities were over there? Man. Let's see what else these guys have to say here. It says, as he states, the defense of Bakhmut is a tactical decision for Ukraine. At the same time, Russia is trying to gain at least some victory, even by destroying everything in a city and killing its residents. Zelensky emphasized that Russia can put their little flag on top of Bakhmut. It will help mobilize their society in order to create this idea they're such a powerful army. Well, that works both ways, my friend. All right, so let's see what this guy said here. This comes from yesterday. All right, yesterday from Newsweek. Ukraine leaving Bakhmut would be more, quote-unquote, symbolic than strategic. General Austin, the one that defends us, my fellow Americans. Ukraine's pulling out of Bakhmut, this guy right here, would not be considered a significant strategic setback despite the intense conflicts surrounding the area, U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin said Monday. This is the guy who's supposed to know, this guy. But anyway, you got all this inclusion and all that, whatever, man. So this is what Mr. More of a symbolic value right here. It's not a strategical setback, and argue that it would be more of a symbolic value for Russia and would not necessarily mean the Russians have changed the tide of the fight. No, that's true, but it's. And then I have this one right here. This is I showed you where it's located. Pop, you got Kramatorsk, you got Sloviansk, and look for Milley. Milley said the same thing. Oh, maybe you should focus on the south, not on the Bakhmut. He said, at the same time, the president stated it is necessary to think about our people first and no one should be surrounded and encircled. This is just because they were about to be encircled and the blame would have fallen on him. And he said, no, actually, it was not me, it was Zelensky who said. And Zelensky, no shit, it was not me, it was you. And then they met together to make a decision, all three. Zelensky, and another guy, I can't remember his name. Something like this. Anyway, so now this, more details. CNN stresses that Bakhmut itself has little strategic value, but its connection to the cities of Kramatorsk and Sovyansk, two densely populated industrial centers in the country's northwest, means that they could be next for Russia. So they say CNN stresses made this stupid assessment. Little strategic value. No, it was not that. It was this great general right here. The diversity hire right here. This guy right here. And the other one, Milley, another pussy, if you know what I mean. Yeah. These are our generals. So now we find out there's two cities over here, Slovensk and whatever, Slovyansk and who, whatever, all of a sudden became very important. Why? Probably they want to try to justify when those guys will be surrounded over there, encircled, and they will say, well, we got about 5,000 people surrounded, or 4,000 people. The Russians said there are about 10,000 fighters over there, Ukrainians, in the city, between 10 and 20. Yesterday they said, the Ukrainians said they're between 4,000 and 4,500 people. They didn't say it was the civilians or they were fighters. So I don't know which one is it, but we're going to find out when the city will be encircled. When those guys were going to surrender, then the Russians will be like, okay, and they're going to tell us, I don't know, 3,594 people. And then we're going to say, okay, who made decisions, these guys, to stay over there instead of retreating? The three of us. So you can't blame us. Yeah, that's how it works in a democracy. That's why when these guys in the Senate or in the House, or let's say that, they make a decision in a democratic way, you can't say anything. You can't claim, wait a second, this decision ruined the country. Well, it was through the democratic system. We all voted. You're not going to say, well, we got 55 senators who voted for, and we got 45 who voted against, the motion passed, or whatever it is, we ruined the country. You're not going to say, well, those 55, that's up. No. Democratic. The Congress decided, and you can't blame the Congress. They have immunity. You see how democracy works? Whereas you have one who makes a decision, you know exactly who you will blame. Stalin, or Hitler, or, you know what I mean? But here, well, that's why you can't just have a free pass. You can't just ruin a country and then you blame it on, well, we were a group here. Okay, we're going to take all of you. That's why when I say, well, we have a council, and the council determined, yeah, we're going to arrest the whole council. If your guys reached a criminal decision and you implemented that, and that ruined the company or ruined, you can't hide behind numbers. Oh, we were 50. Do we know who those 50 are? Yeah. Come over, Red Rover. We're going to get you. No. Yes. But that's how it is. Look what's going on. Our Zelensky, our Biden sends billions of dollars to another country. Billions from his own ass. Who's going to pay for all that? It's aid. Someone built that aid. Someone gives that money. Who's that? And your children and my children and your grandchildren and my grandchildren and so on are going to pay with interest for all this. Why? Because Biden did it. Is it going to be sanctions? He's going to die. He doesn't give up. You and I will be around, and our kids and our grandkids and so on. He's dying, so he lived his life. See, he was the president. What am I? And so on. But he's over there. This is great about democracy. I love it. What was the accountability? I've been told in the United States of America when I went here to university, you got to work within the system. And that is, wait 4 years until the next elections and you change the guy. Okay, and in 4 years, this guy can screw my life and my next generations, and I'm just going to wait. Well, that's great. Great democracy. Great democratic system. No. It should be something else. within a system, we have to add something and we have to subtract something. It can't be like this. And besides, you got these guys, what? I don't even want to go in there. I don't even want to go in there. Work within the system. Okay. And besides, you vote this guy out. You voted him in because you thought he was good. Some people, the majority, thought he was good. How did you assess that he's an idiot only after that? So he fools us, you know, as a politician told me, well, I mean, the most important thing in politics is to have charisma, not to be smart, not to be good looking. Good looking plays a role, but because that part of charisma. But you don't have to have knowledge. Nah, you don't have to have courage. No, charisma, that means fool people, attract people, like shit attracts flies. That's how it is. I want to say honey, but they're not honey. They're more like shit. So yeah, charisma. With charisma, I fool you guys. You get me elected in 4 years. I'm with the ladies of the night all day, all night on the 4 years. The country is ruined. They say, well, you can't do anything to me. Everything was legal. Bye-bye. And I'm going to be on the board of directors of the ones that I helped during my 4 years. And I say, you, America, is that how it works? Yeah, that's exactly how it works. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Bakhmut is a very important city now, strategically. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.